all your school rugby, all in one place. This is NextGen15.
Hello and welcome to the NextGen15 podcast. No Will Roberts today, but it is a special episode because we are moving into World Rugby's Under-20s Championship territory, and there's a warm-up game happening tomorrow, or in fact today possibly, if you're picking this up on Friday. 3:30 kickoff, Wales against England in the Under-20s over in Wales, and we've got the special privilege today of talking to two of the young England stars, Noah Caluori and Jack Bracken, Saracens teammates, wingers both. Jack scored a hat-trick on his Under-20s debut, and Noah Caluori is determined to try and catch him up because Noah is starting against Wales tomorrow. So we're going to chat to them in a little bit. But just to run you through the usual bits and pieces, you know where to find us. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Amazon, we're on Acast, we're on Spotify. Anywhere you can find your podcast is where we are. And you know where to find us on social media as well. It's at NextGen15, it's at NextGenXV, and the website is nextgen15.com. And if you want to natter away to Will Roberts, he's on the NextGen15 Clubhouse at NGXV Clubhouse across all platforms. But yes, it's World Rugby Under-20s coming up. I think it's 26th of June. It gets cracking, runs through until the 19th of July. England, of course, the reigning champions, but Wales, who they face tomorrow, knocked England off their perch at the end of the Under-20s Six Nations. England were gunning for the Grand Slam, absolutely flying, but Wales caught them cold in the last game. So without any further ado, why don't we hear from that fantastic Saracens duo in the back three, Jack Bracken and Noah Caluori. Right, we are joined by two young England Under-20 stars, Jack Bracken and Noah Caluori. How are we both, gents?
Yeah, very good. Great, thank you.
Massive game tomorrow afternoon against Wales. Jack, I'm going to start with you. Is there a bit of spice in the air in camp? You know, Wales obviously getting that result against you boys at the end of the Under-20 Six Nations. I know this is a bit of a warm-up ahead of the World Under-20s, but there must be a little bit of a feeling of wanting to get one back on them.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it is a friendly, it's a warm-up, but it's never a friendly against Wales, really, especially after last time. It's not really been talked about as much as you'd think, to be honest. We're sort of focusing on ourselves. We're implementing a lot of new framework and things like that for the World Cup, so we are looking bigger picture rather than just at Wales, but I'm sure when the time comes, the boys will definitely be up for it.
Absolutely. And Noah, is this your first time in camp? Is that right?
No, I was in a couple of camps during the Six Nations, but just never ended up getting on the team sheet. But I've had like a good introduction to the 20s before this week.
Excited for the start of the weekend then, or start tomorrow, I should say.
Definitely. I'm buzzing for it, really. Just ready to like do my best and hopefully tear up.
Yeah, it should be cool. Well, listen, the reason we wanted to speak to both of you guys is because obviously similar positions, same club, year apart. There's a bit of something going on there. Rival schools as well, I suppose, when we really dig down into it. Jack, what's? I mean, I suppose you're an experienced head in camp. You've been part of the 20 setup for a while. You're a champion yourself. What's the feeling sort of heading towards the World Under-20s and what's your role in camp? Obviously with a club mate who's just finishing up his school career alongside you. I'm assuming there's a bit of a mentorship thing going on there as well.
Yeah, sort of. He might not want to think so, but I think I'm doing my best. No, it's definitely a different feeling to last year. Obviously coming in straight from school is kind of a new environment, and almost you don't want to speak up sometimes. But that's definitely changed this time. I feel, yeah, I've got to use my experience for the team's sake and lead players and be a good example for the younger players. Like Noah, obviously he doesn't need too much mentorship, but every now and then, some advice. But No, it's good. Like you mentioned, the competition between us. I think it gets the best out of both of us. We're really pushing each other, especially we're going to be playing in the same team in the World Cup and in the future to come.
Yeah, Noah, I guess it's probably quite handy having some familiar faces in. You're set to pull the 20 shirt on for the first time. I know you've had a lot of game time in 18s and 19 shirts, but the 20 shirt is that step up, and familiar faces has got to be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Like coming into like probably my first 20s camp, like I think it was like Island Week in the Six Nations, having like people like Jack from Sarries, having that familiar face helped a lot. I don't want to like float his boat a bit, but like he has helped a bit. He has helped with like being like someone that I can like ask questions with if I'm unsure. Like when I first came in, there were so many things chucked at me, and I was like, "What am I doing here?" So I'd text him like at night, before the next day of camp if I was unsure of something, and there'll be no hesitation with him helping me. And yeah, definitely it has definitely helped having those familiar faces. And yeah, I don't think I would be able to like understand everything fully if I didn't have people like Jack next to me at the start.
And obviously, just sort of looking at Sarries, there's a bit of change going on in your area of the field as we look ahead to season to come. I suppose Goody's gone. A lot of players left last year. You've seen Sean Maitland retire. You've seen Alice Lewington. There's a sort of sense that the younger generation is getting their shot in the back three, particularly at Sarries, with the likes of Tobias Elliott and Angus Hall getting some good game time out there. Does that excite you guys? Do you feel like you're sort of on the cusp? There must be amazing, as well as sort of a bit of friendship off the field. There must be a huge amount of competition between you young back three players at Sarries, because there are potential places in the first team up for grabs in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I would say definitely like it definitely excites me personally. I feel like the competition, like even like coming there with the most unexperienced winger out of the group. I feel like every time I go into training, I always want to like so that sense of competition always makes me want to like go harder, push harder, and like make myself become a better player. Like seeing all those people, seeing like Angus and Tobias getting so many opportunities this year has made me feel like I think I can do that too. I want to do that as well. And every time I go in training, I like set goals in mind so I can come out of it a better player.
And Jack, for you, it must feel, potentially even closer. A year further down the track, and peers like Angus getting a fair share of runouts for the first team right at
Yeah,
the very top end. It must feel like you're inches away.
yeah, it's touching distance, but like it does take a bit of luck, a few injuries here and there. With Angus, obviously, got quite lucky, but then he's definitely made the most of his opportunities. And then, yeah, if I'm lucky enough to get the opportunity next year, it's about how I can make the most of it, how I can put myself in the best place possible to be ready when that time comes.
Now I'm gonna ask you about the bit that you probably never want to talk about, but it's not exactly unknown that you've got a fair old family connection at Saracens. There's about 15 of you. Well, you obviously your dad a legend, and there's about 15 of you running around
Yeah,
various different size shirts, looking for a place in the first team at some point. Um, what's that like? Does it come with pressure, or is it great to be part of something where there's so much sort of family familiarity around?
yeah, like I said, Saracens is a family affair at this point. It's been my boyhood club. It's been the team I've supported my whole life, and obviously my dad and my brother being a massive part of it. Um, I'd say yes, there is an additional pressure. Obviously, I want to make a name for myself and not just be known as Kieran's son or Charlie's brother. But no, it's definitely helped. I think, I, like I said, it's sort of a second home, and yeah, it's just a great place to be at the moment.
No one's mistaking you for your dad. Don't worry, you're about twice as quick as he ever was, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
And Noah, where are you at the moment? Well, not physically right now. I know exactly where you are. You're in the luxury suite in somewhere in Bristol. But where's life at the moment? Is school finished? Are you in the midst of exams? Have exams finished? Where's the world according to you?
Luckily, I've finished my exams a couple of weeks ago, just before half term. So I've been able to like switch off a bit from like the academic side of my life and like now focus on rugby, try to put my all in to train as best I can leading up to the World Cup. So I've had a bit of like a relaxed like mind reset after my exams are done. So yeah, done with school. So I'm really happy about that.
So in your head now, well, I suppose in reality, you are a full-time professional rugby player now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. Well, what's that? Well, actually, Jack, I suppose you're probably better placed to answer this. I suppose what is that like? Where I mean, obviously, you guys go through school, you go through junior academy stuff. You know, you're well ingrained in the system, and you're training to be professional rugby players. But what is it like that sort of that day, that couple of months, that little period where you go from being a schoolboy who plays rugby, albeit at a very high level, to I'm a professional rugby player?
Yeah, it's a pretty daunting time, I'd say. Coming on my first day of training, obviously you haven't been away at the World Cup. You sort of got a chip in your shoulder a little bit, like thinking you're a pretty good player, and then you play your first training session, and you're like, oh God, there's so many things I need to work on. The speed of the game is so much quicker, the physicality and everything. It's just a massive step up. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty daunting. Obviously, I was at uni for the first few months of the season, so my transition was probably slightly delayed. It was a bit easier going into the full-time setup. Bit of an older player, but no, yeah, obviously Noah's had a fair few training sessions with the first team, but it'll be exciting when he comes in after the World Cup in pre-season, see how he deals with the pressure.
Yeah, I feel like personally, like it's a bit like surreal. Like when I first came into train, I was like thinking to myself, like the people that I'm training with now, like people I grew up watching, like being like, I want to take a picture with them after the game when I've watched them. Like I like to think that they're my teammates now is a bit surreal. So I'm just trying to make the most of it and like just try and do my best and like work as hard as I can, really.
And what are those first few training sessions like? I mean, is it first time that someone whacks you, you realise, yeah, all right, that's a teammate now. That's not an idol. Or is there a moment where it suddenly all clicks and you go, whoa, wow, that's just a teammate now?
Well, for me, it was getting shouted at by I think it was Elliot Daly for making a break. That's when I realised, yeah, it is full time. It's not school anymore, and yeah, they are your teammates.
The same thing happened to me with Elliot Taylor as well. Yeah. Last year pre-season, I didn't realize like how the shoulders on was when we were training, and then he was like, "Go down." And I was like, "Oh damn, I gotta go down straight away." That was probably the click. I was like, "All right, this is real now."
Elliot Daly, the tough taskmaster. You wouldn't know it from the outside, would you? All sweetness and life and making coffees for everyone. Who knew?
He's both.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Looking ahead to tomorrow's game, obviously, I guess as you mentioned at the start, it's a friendly, it's a warm-up game. Is this about putting in place plans for the tournament to come, or is this just about getting a bit of familiarity with each other on the field and getting used to some new faces being in the group? Obviously, it's a slightly different group to the one that played through the Six Nations. Or sort of what's the feel for it ahead of it?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of new players. It's a chance for them to prove themselves, really, to get themselves on the plane for the World Cup, and also to get the familiarity, build those relationships on the pitch, as well as what we've been doing off the pitch to build those relationships. And yeah, like you said, to get one up on Wales from last time, that'll be even better.
Yeah, it should be a cracking game and some exciting combinations in there as well by the look of things. Back row especially. That's a handy back row you boys have got.
Yeah. Yeah. Competition there is mental. Like it's a very, very strong back row.
And I suppose you got guys like George Timmins, whatever it was, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, made his Premiership debut for Bath. There's a lot of guys in this group who've got real Premiership experience, even a couple that have got some European experience as well. And obviously, Six Nations, we saw, the madness that was the Henry Pollock machine going from playing with the 20s to playing for England. Now he's on a Lions tour. Do these sort of camps where you've got stories like that coming in and you start to realize that the group around you are making these steps into the world that is exactly where you guys want to be, does it make it feel all that bit closer?
Yeah, I would say that it definitely does. And I feel like every time like a conversation like that comes up, or like you'll see something like that happen. So, for example, Paula going from playing France and then ending up going to senior camps through Six Nations, now it's a Lion. Like it definitely motivates us, but it motivates the whole squad. And that also does bring the whole squad closer together because we all want to get the best and the most out of each training session, out of each match. And then that doesn't make just one person better, it makes all of us a lot better. And then more opportunities like what Pollock had could happen to us as well.
Yeah, I also think it fills us with confidence as well. Like so many boys getting premiership experience, even with Joe Davies, Johnny Wyman, who maybe sort of new to 20 South, who've got like plenty of games in the Premiership. So it's really exciting to see like where all of us boys can go in the next few years.
It's massive. Right, I'm going to ask you a sort of tricky question along these lines, but I'm sure you've got it covered. Henry's going on this Lions tour. Who from this squad do you think? I just need one name, but who from this squad, or one name each, how about that? Do you think is going on the next Lions tour? 2029.
I was about to say, you go first. Let's exclude ourselves because I feel like we'll try cop out and say the other person sitting here. But,
yeah, no, I wouldn't let you get away with that.
Let me think.
You got some good boys in the second row, haven't you? You've got
that. I'm trying to not go safe. I don't want to go safe. I don't want to cop out. So
I'll go Billy Seller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
Good
that.
shout. Well, yeah, I'm afraid he's been taken now, so you're gonna have to find someone else. Billy Seller in the front row is Jack's pick. Who's Noah going for?
Ben Cohen.
Ben Cohen. Like it. Could find himself getting a lot of appearances for Exeter very soon, I reckon.
Yeah.
No, good set of selections there. Is that because you're trying to hype up Ben and you want to get some crossfield kicks coming across your way?
A bit of both.
No, it's really cool. It's really cool. This is what these games, these tournaments are all about from an outsider's point of view, is getting that glimpse into the future, getting to see, what might come one day. I mean, that's what we're trying to tell everyone here at Next Gen 15 all about, is that you guys are the stars of the future, and that everyone we see on those Lions tours, everyone we see in an England squad, they've literally walked this path before. You're kind of following in their shoes, and we know that a good chunk of you guys are going to be those next England players, those next Lions. So these games, these tournaments are really, really exciting. What's also really exciting is the fact that you guys are chasing back-to-back world titles. There's a period, what was it, almost 10 years ago now, where England were routinely kind of in and around those finals and winning these trophies. What's the feel in camp? Is there talk of going back to back, or is it very much just sort of process based?
Yeah, I would say like our goal is to win the World Cup, and I really think that this group can achieve it. Like we have so many talented players across every position in this squad, and I feel like we all believe we can go back to back. And even though this is a new group, for example, like for this 20s warm-up game, the way we've gelled together is really, really good. And I feel like across the time, going into our other warm-up games and then into the World Cup, we'll only get better. But as soon as we know, hopefully we'll be in the final, chasing that back-to-back world title.
I also think the hurt from the Six Nations is definitely going to give us that extra bit of motivation to bring to the World Cup and hopefully win it.
And I guess if we look at the World Cup, it's really the first chance. And I guess, Jack, you're the best place to talk about this because you've kind of walked the walk a little bit on this. When you go through 17s, 18s, 19s, it's all very home nations and European based. You don't really face anyone
Yeah,
outside of the Six Nations countries, save perhaps for a Georgia or something. These tournaments are the first opportunity, really, I think, that anyone gets, other than maybe school rugby tours, to actually play New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Fiji. What's that experience like? And is that sort of one of the major excitements, I suppose, about these tournaments?
yeah, definitely. I mean, last year got to go to South Africa. Also played Georgia and then Argentina, and I said South Africa in the group stages. It is definitely really special. I mean, anytime you put on an England jersey, it's incredibly special. But to be able to play abroad, to play in big stadiums, to play against other quality international teams is really special. Um, Obviously, we've got Australia and South Africa in our group this year, so yeah, it is definitely really special.
Yeah, it's cool. And Noah, I'm guessing you've not faced an international side from outside of Europe at any age group so far.
Yeah, we had South Africa on South Africa tour, but other
Oh, of
than that,
course, yeah.
yeah. Oh, Japan in the 19s games, but other than those two,
Yeah.
I don't think I have. But hoping to make a good debut like this guy in the World Cup, little hat trick that he had last year.
Well, that's the point. Is there a bit of competition going on internally already about the try scoring charts, particularly the Saracens boys out wide?
Healthy competition, healthy competition.
Well, Pollock got his a hat trick on his debut for the 20s as well. So I think it's a select group of players. I'm joking. There's obviously no pressure to, but I'm sure he'll tear up.
See what I can do, yeah.
I just get four, and then that's the debate done.
Yeah.
Job done. Listen, gents, I really, really, really appreciate you taking the time. We're just going to do a couple of quick fires to round off. I'm sure they're embarrassing, but never mind. Rugby idols when you were growing up.
Vernon Barrett for me. Like I just grew up watching him and I loved the way he played. Like caught my eye instantly. I just thought he was so cool. So it has to be him.
I'd say Chris Ashton, Saracens and England legend, with his wheels and his work rate.
Going to take a leaf out of his celebration book as well?
Definitely not. No.
Player that you most model your game on or think your game is the most like?
I'd say Will Jordan, a current player. Obviously, he's a full-back winger, good on the ball, and can beat players like no one else.
Not a bad choice, I'll give you that.
I would say like part of my game links to like how Tommy Freeman played, the way England use him with his aerial threat. I think I base my game around my aerial threat a lot, and his ability to beat defenders, like his ball carrying strength, is like no other in the England team. So I think if I had to compare myself to someone, I would compare myself to him.
Most annoying player in camp? In the good sense of it.
This guy. I'm joking. Not really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anyone's really annoying.
Who's annoying in training? Oh, well, I wouldn't say annoying. Louis Gully's a bit of a menace in training,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, goes around smashing people.
Pretty much, yeah. Taking knees and smashing Cohen a lot of the time.
I've heard Connor Treacy's got a bit of a reputation for that as well.
He's a hard hitter. So yeah.
Perfect. All right, gents. Thanks very much. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Noah, good luck on debut. Jack, don't let him get a hat trick. Come on now, keep that to yourself. No, appreciate it very much. Good luck. That was Jack Bracken and Noah Caluori, two superb characters and a pair of fantastic wingers. Jack Bracken has been lighting up the scene ever since he first pulled on a white shirt, and Noah likewise. You might remember it was last summer Noah scored an absolute scorcher for England under-18s down in South Africa, and he's been performing just as well for the England under-19s, for Saracens in the under-18 Academy League, and indeed for Mill Hill. And he's sure to perform in that under-20s shirt as well. Should be a fantastic, fantastic occasion tomorrow afternoon. But more importantly, over the course of the next 6 weeks, a fantastic period for under-20s rugby. We're going to have loads of coverage of the under-20s, the World Rugby U20 Championships, I should say, over the coming 6 weeks or so. Loads and loads of good content planned, lots of podcasts, lots of articles, loads of social media content, not just from England camp, but from across the home nations and the Southern Hemisphere as well. All roads point towards Italy. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching and tuning in to that little chat with Noah and with Jack. We'll be hearing from plenty more inside that England under-20s camp in the coming weeks. As I say, it's going to be a very, very exciting summer in the world of youth rugby.